Hello, it's lovely to see you. Welcome to my channel and thank you very much for joining me. I hope you've been having a nice day so far. Today I thought I'd paint a little scene from the local park near where I live. I was out on Sunday and I took a few snapshots, so I'm going to paint one for you today. As you can see, I've already laid out the path here and some trees. I've added a few things, the bench here, and I think I'm going to add in a big tree here. So yeah, I hope you enjoy. I hope you find it relaxing. I'm going to start off by blocking in some of these trees, I think. I'm going to start with him. I'm going to start by just blocking in some of just the basic shapes and the basic values. So we get rid of this scary white canvas. And there's also going to be a branch. He comes out of this tree. He comes all the way across here. That's it. Like that. I should probably paint in the sky first. As when I try and come on top with a light blue colour, I think it's going to be very difficult to stop it from mixing with green paint. But if it does, that's not so bad. So I'm going to put a tree. Let's say right about here. And then maybe there's a branch that comes. As he is closer than all the rest, I'm gonna have to paint him a little bit bigger. Maybe he comes down here. Big tree. There we go. This is, of course. Oh, yeah. That is very, very dark. So, it is just the undercoat. On top, I will make it a little bit lighter with the second layer. As I was walking around the park the other day, everything seemed to be extra grey. The sun was nowhere to be seen. So I thought I would remedy that and inject a little bit of colour myself. At the moment, all the colours are looking a little bit muted, but I can assure you that will change. There we go. So there is still some white showing through on the canvas, but that's okay. I'm going to come back later on and create some more layers. I'm going to block in. Actually, that's very dark. These are the bushes. Not entirely sure what kind of bushes they are, but they're the leaves were very dark. In this one particular park, there are lots of people running, doing sports. And I thought to myself, it would be really sensible of me to join them and also go for a run. And then my senses kicked in. I thought, don't be silly, Scott. Just go to the pub and have a beer. Which is exactly what I did. So, there are many, many different tones in this field here. I've got a few different paints mixed up. So nothing here. Well, around this area there's a lot of reds and browns due to the fallen leaves around here. So I think I'm going to have to add in some fallen leaves here as well, where my imaginary tree is standing. So I'll leave this area free. So in the middle here. There are so many small details in this scene. It's very difficult for me to bear in mind that I don't have to paint all of it. Okay, I'm now going to attempt to paint in some of this sky. Very carefully. I don't want to ruin these nice green branches. But if I do, it's okay because I can just paint them again. So far so good, although I fear there will be a few little white gaps showing through afterwards, which is usually why I apply some kind of acrylic wash to the painting surface before I start painting, in order to get rid of all that white. I quite like my paintings looking a little bit rough though. I don't want them looking too neat and tidy. But once this blocking in is finished, that's when the real fun begins. I think I'm going to switch to a round brush. Small one, that is. Okay, see how we go with this. I'm currently looking at my reference, and there must be thousands upon thousands of small branches. And I'm sat here trying to copy them, which is ludicrous. Usually what I do in this situation is I paint in the main branches, and then I decide for myself where I want the smaller branches to go. What I'll do is I just add a touch of linseed oil to the paint, which makes it thinner, and then I can glide over that sky colour I've just put down. Although it's not always that straightforward. I have found that it does always work better with a round brush. The where is it? The filbert brush. It is actually my favourite brush, but because it's got a sharp point, it tends to cut through the paint instead of applying another layer on top, which is not what I want. I do really enjoy painting trees in the winter time. It's fascinating how much of the form of them, I suppose. All these small, intricate little branches weaving in and out of each other. So now we can go across. Thin that out just a touch. We can come across with this big. So it goes up there like that and then down. And down. Here. Because he's nice and dark, it's quite easy to paint over everything else. There you are. I can come down here like that. And in doing so, that then sets everything, the trees there, sets them back into the distance a little bit more. Don't want to overdo it though. What about my little tree here? My little make-believe tree. Maybe you can have another branch coming up there like that. There you go. Maybe some more. So I'm going to start adding a little bit of texture and interest to the pathway here, using a mauve colour. I really don't want the pathway here to look flat. It's the last thing I want. I also want it to have a little bit more colour. A lot more colour, actually. On the reference photo we have just some boring grey looking tarmac, which isn't something I want to represent in my painting. I think I'm going to have to mix a little bit more of this colour because I'm running out. I never mix the right amount of colour. It's a little bit like cooking rice or spaghetti. After years of practice, you still never know how much you're going to need. So I'm going to leave that here how it is for now. Get a bit of an idea of how it's going to go. Well, I would continue, but I've run out of paint. But I have more paint here, but I haven't mixed any yet. So I'm going to continue with the sky. It is a similar kind of concept. Just going to go over the top here with another value and shade This one has a little bit more blue paint, so it stands out a bit more and it's a touch brighter. I'm just going to loosely paint over the top of the layer I've already put down. And that is hopefully give me some more interest in the sky. It doesn't matter if I paint over the branches either, because I can always paint the branches back in again. And I also don't mind painting over these branches that I've already done, because when I repaint them, that will then also be another layer. I think when you can visually see the different layers, it gives you an idea of the process. If you're just viewing the finished painting for the first time. Now I'm going to inject a little bit of colour into the bushes here, but perhaps not the colour that you might expect. I have no idea how this is going to turn out, but we'll see. This is just for the shadows. A few more down here perhaps. These are just the indication of leaves. Blue leaves. And here the leaves that are nearer the front, nearer the outside. I mean, actually, the bushes do look somewhat blue. I mean, just ever so slightly. I mean, obviously I've exaggerated it somewhat, but a lot. When I'm painting something, I don't want to just paint what I see. I always think to myself, how could I change this and make it into my own? How can I be creative here? And but that does require a great deal of experimentation. Okay, I've done a few little bits and bobs off of camera. Slowly starting to come to the end now. I think all I need to do is just paint in the bench and we'll be about done. and I wanted to go for something vibrant, something that's going to really stand out. Not sure if it's going to work or not, but we'll see. If it looks horrendous, I can always change it. But I want to be bold. I want it to catch the eye. Well, my main concern is probably not the colour, but rather the how wonky the bench is going to look afterwards. So this bench is actually, again, from my imagination, I've painted this in to make the painting a little bit more interesting. I want to separate the road here and the green field with, again, with something a bit more prominent. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some orange. I'll start here. One has to try these things now. I think just enough to give it like a little, to give the painting a little accent. Could make that orange a little bit darker, and just underneath the bushes here, maybe give just small. Just a little bit of indication there. Yeah, nice. I like that. Okay. I'm happy with that, it looks good. I think I'm going to call this a finished painting. It's the first time I've actually injected such vibrant colour into a painting before, and I'm really happy with it. Yeah, I'll give you a close-up before I leave. Yeah, it was lovely having you here. Thanks very much for watching today, and if you would like to see more content like this, please do subscribe and hit the like button. I hope you have a fantastic day. Take it easy.